Hello, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to a video all about stealth camping. That's right, in this video and the next one we're going to look at all things stealth camping. This first part, well, that's going to be all about what you're going to take with you, what gear you're going to need and why we do it. In the second part we're going to look at how we do it, so the actual techniques which will guarantee your success while you are out stealth camping. So before we get into the gear side of things and what we need to take, we're going to look at, well, what is stealth camping and why? Why do we do it? So what is stealth camping? Well, very simple. It is camping without permission. Picking a spot, deciding you're going to camp there and actually doing it, but you don't have the permission of the landowner to do it. So it is, in fact, illegal. So why stealth camp? Why get out there and break the law? Well, as we saw earlier in the year down on Dartmoor, landowners don't like us camping out on their land, and Dartmoor was the only place left where we could legally wild camp. However, a landowner with a lot of money who could pay for a big legal team managed to find a clause in the law and get it overturned. So now there is actually legally nowhere we can go wild camping. So for those of us who like to get out and wild camp, it means you've got to break the law, and to do that, well, you've got to be a bit stealthy about it, and that's where stealth camping comes in. So stealth camping, it's one of those, yes, you are breaking the law, but at the same time it's actually pretty environmentally sound. While you're there, no one knows you're there, and when you've gone, you've left absolutely no trace, at least if you've done it properly, and that's what the second part of this video is going to be about, that making sure no one finds that you are there, and then when you've gone that you've left no trace behind. In this one we're going to look at the gear that you're going to take and the gear that you're going to carry and wear. So the first thing I want to talk about is the actual clothing, the rig that you're going to wear. Well, obviously it needs to be stuff that's suitable for an outdoor environment. It needs to keep the environment at bay and keep the weather at bay and all of those good things. It also wants to blend in, so I've gone for earth tones, and it's just regular outdoor clothing. It's nothing tactical. I've got a green overhead top. I've got a pair of earth coloured, sandy coloured craghoppers trousers and a little pair of walking boots. Nothing that screams I'm off camping. I'm just out in the countryside enjoying the countryside, and that's what this clothing says. What I wouldn't choose to wear is camouflage or anything that looks at all tactical, because if you see anyone, the first thing they're going to think is why. Far from taking attention from you, it draws attention to you. Camouflage and military clothing is fine in that environment, a military environment, but out here all it does is draw attention to you. So next up, well, have a visible reason for being out in the countryside. Now, yes, we know what we're out there to do, but that's not what we want people to think we're out there doing. We want them to think we're out doing something else. Now, I know the security services, some of the guys who do surveillance work, they carry props in the backs of their vehicles which help them blend in to any environment. So a clipboard, a high-vis vest, a hard hat, a dog lead, all of those things, if you're carrying them or wearing them, well, people don't notice you. Oh, it's just a bloke out looking for his dog, that's why he's got a dog lead. Oh, it's a guy with a high-vis vest and a clipboard. It doesn't draw attention to you. It lets people think for themselves that you're there for a particular purpose. Now today I've done exactly the same. So, a pair of binoculars and a bird spotting book. What I'm out doing today. is I'm out bird spotting. Again, that goes with my subdued clothing as well. So it's all about creating that image that I'm out in the countryside doing something apart from what I'm actually there to do. So before we look at the actual gear I'm taking, we're going to look at the actual pack that I'm carrying it in, because that is quite important. If you've got a great big 120 litre military rucksack, complete with roll mat on the outside, Petromax paraffin lantern, and your standard cooksker or metal mug dangling off the outside, what does that say to you? Instead, what we need to be doing is, again, nondescript, nothing that is going to draw attention to what you're actually doing there. So I've gone for a slightly smaller pack. And this pack, well, this is only a 55 litre pack, and this 55 litre pack is only just over half full. The reason for that, well, it keeps it small. I could just be out on a day walk with a badly packed rucksack. Certainly, it doesn't look like I'm carrying all that I need to be out in the woods overnight. Again, it's not drawing attention to myself. Now, a little top tip with getting your rucksack down to size. And that is very, very simple. What I do is I take everything that I need for a night in the woods. I then try and pack it into a 35 litre day sack with a couple of side pockets on. Once I've squeezed everything in there, or selected items that I don't actually need, take those out so that I can fit it into the 35 litre pack. Well, that still looks a bit dodgy, doesn't it? If I've got a very full 35 litre pack, I'm not going to have room for a roll mat inside that. I'll have to tap it on the outside, and again, that says this is somebody going out camping. By taking the contents of a 35 litre pack and packing them into a bigger pack where you can get it all inside, still keep it compressed, still keep it small, it looks like you're carrying a half empty rucksack. So it's not giving it away. A friend of mine, strangely enough, what he does when he goes stealth camping is he doesn't use a rucksack. He uses 2 shopping bags. Looks like a bloke who's just been shopping. So before I go into the pack, obviously I'm also carrying a few items on my person. So I've got my little EDC pouch, and in there I've got my pocket knife, I've got my ferro rod, and I've got a small torch. I've also got my little cuts kit there, so I'm covered first aid wise. So the gear that's in here, well, it covers 4 main headings: shelter, warmth, water and food. If you've got those 4 covered, and you're pretty much sorted. Again, keep it all very, very simple. We're going to start in the top pocket with the items that I might need to get to in a hurry. First one, a little Nebo micro head torch. You've seen the review of these. The thing I like about this, and the thing that makes it ideal for this, is the operation switch. If you push and hold, it goes straight to red light, which for this type of activity is absolutely ideal. Also in here, set of protective gloves, work gloves, handling hot pans, etc., or holding barbed wire, those types of things. I've also got a map of the area. It's one of the splash maps, the fabric ones. Hank paracord. My puck stove, and some spare matches and a needle and thread also in there. So a bit of a sewing type repair kit and my spare matches and one of my little alcohol stoves. So that's my top pocket pretty much sorted. So next we're going to go into my 2 side pockets, and in these, well, it's stuff I want to get to in a hurry. It's my shelter gear, my cooking gear and my water. They're there so that when I arrive on site, particularly if the lights start to go, which ideally it should be, I know exactly where everything is and I can get it out and deploy it fairly quickly. So going into this side, which is my shelter, I have one toggle line, heavy duty with a big wooden toggle on there, and that just allows me a bit of flexibility when setting up, but it also can act as a safety line if I need one. My main shelter is this. A lot of you will recognise this. It's my Dutch Army poncho. It's not the lightest, it's not the biggest, it's very, very durable, and it's also very discreet. It's got quite a subtle camo pattern that works very, very well in this type of environment. So Dutch Army poncho. Also in there I've got another toggle line, and I've also got 4 metal pegs. In underneath that I've got these 6 jungle toggles, and these, if you haven't seen them, go back into my videos, are 1 meter long lengths of doubled cord with knots in, and it just allows you to set up very, very quickly. I'm not having to tie knots or adjust knots. I can do everything with these. They take seconds, and when I need to take it all down, I can take it down nice and quickly. That is shelter done. That's all you need. You don't need a great deal. So turning the pack round this side, so it's got my cooking, my water, my food, fuel, everything is in here. So cooking system, this needs no introduction. It's my US Army water bottle, Nalgene water bottle, US Army mug stand. Very lightweight, very practical, very durable. Works well with my little alcohol burner. So that is the mainstay of my cooking. Plus I've got 1 quart of water on there as well. Also in here I have my food. Just a boil in the bag meal. That's all you're going to need. You're not going to need to do any extensive cooking. You're out to stealth camp. Strong smells and odours and fires, etc. That doesn't go with stealth camping. Boil in the bag meals are the way to go. Also in there, brew kit. In there I've got my little set of herbal tea bags ready for my brew in the morning. My lid for my mug, and a foil windshield, and again that goes round my metal mug and cooker, not only to protect it from the wind but also to help reduce the light signature. There's less chance of my presence being given away because I've got this running around the outside, so no light is going to escape while I'm cooking. Last 2 items, a wooden spoon and my fuel to go with my little puck stove. Now, wooden spoons don't rattle on metal mugs while you're eating. So if you're eating out of the mug rather than out of the bag, it's not going to make that chinking noise, which again is a sound that's going to give you away. I know some people use small gas burners. It's sort of very high pressure little butane stoves, which are great. They're very, very fast, but they're also very, very loud, and at night, if you're cooking at night, sound travels further, and the sound of those stoves firing up you can hear from quite a distance. A little alcohol stove is completely silent. It doesn't give off much of a flame. Yes, it takes a bit longer, but I'm not usually in a hurry, so I'm not bothered about that. So that's my cooking gear and my shelter gear all sorted. So next we're going to go into the body of the pack, and in here, well, I need to know where everything is. I don't want to be rooting through everything to find one little item. So again, everything is laid out in a logical order inside. Now, usually once I arrive where I'm going to camp, I get my shelter up and I get my food sorted. This, at that point, stays packed. In the top, spare water. I'm using one of these flexible water bottles. It's an extra 2 litres there. So I'm carrying certainly enough water to get me through the night quite easily. Also, I need to be prepared for inclement weather. So I've got my little Dutch Army Gore-Tex smock liner that can go on underneath this. Very, very waterproof, ideal under one of these, and it's also, again, very, very quiet. So a good item. It also weighs nothing and it washes down really nice and small. Inside, I've also got the dry bag with the rest of my stuff in. Warmth, well, that comes down to this little bit, and this is a small down jacket, a little Carrymore branded one. It's reasonably warm, but if you use it as part of a layer system, it's really, really good. So I tend to chuck that on. If it's cold, I would chuck the smock on. Over the top of that, I might chuck this on as well. It all builds up those layers, helps to keep me warm. So a little down jacket and compressed small, they're good little bits of kit. Nowadays they're not particularly expensive. Also I've got a little bag in here. I've got things like my woolly hat, gloves, a little head over, all stuff that's lightweight, but all stuff that if used correctly will help to keep you nice and warm. I've also got in here one merino Dutch Army zip neck top. Again, lightweight, super warm bit of kit. And in last couple of items, battery packs, cables, etc. For running my tech, my filming equipment, etc. And one of these. And this is an Alp Kit cloud base inflatable air mattress. Takes up very little space. Super, super comfy night on one of those. They don't insulate particularly well, however they do make the night quite a nice comfortable one because they're great to lay on. The insulation, that's where this comes in. This little thin cut down roll mat. It protects the air mattress, protects my bivvy bag, gives me a little bit of insulation as well. So a really good bit of kit. Not expensive, lightweight, and it helps to protect not only me, but also some of my more delicate items. The last bit, which is in its own separate dry bag, is this. Now this is my sleeping bag and bivvy bag. Now the sleeping bag is a mountain equipment dream catcher. So a little 3-season bag, it compresses down very, very small. And then that's inside an Alp Kit Hunker XL bivvy bag, which is a sort of plain green. It's a big cut and it's absolutely ideal. All of that is sealed in this, and this is an X-Bed compression dry bag. Really good bit of kit. Had it for years, never let me down. Always helps to keep my little down bag nice and dry. There you go, it's all packed in. As you can see, the pack is nothing like full. The weight of this is just over £18, so it's not a great deal to carry. I'm not humping a huge, massive, heavy burden in. I'm taking a lightweight, slightly larger than normal day sack, that's all. So, again, all things that help say that this person's not going camping. So there you go, that's my pack, that's the gear that I take with me when I'm out on a stealth camp. Reasonably lightweight, all very, very simple gear, and it's stuff that's worked for me for a long time, and I'm quite happy recommending it all over to you. In our next video, we're going to look at the techniques, how you are going to achieve the best chances of success out on your stealth camp. So I'll give you a few top tips, but as I say, that will be in the next video. Now, if you've enjoyed this video, then remember, hit that thumbs up button. And if you haven't already, please like and subscribe to the channel. Down below in the description box, there are links to my social media, so Instagram and Facebook. Pop over there, give me a follow over there. And there's also a link down there to my Etsy shop. Pop yourself over there, that's where you get my little Greencraft patches. There's also a few other items over there for sale as well from time to time. So in the next few weeks there should be some more of my minimal survival scarves, some more puck stoves, and a few other bits besides, as well as some of those jungle toggle sets, which I'll do a separate video on those before they actually come up, just so you've got the heads up for when they're going to be in the shop. I think that's everything. I've been Neil, and until next time, stay safe in the woods.